the Epstein connection. Now let's dive into one of the most shocking aspects of the Diddy case, the growing conspiracy theories linking him to Jeffrey Epstein. Both men stand accused of deeply disturbing operations involving the exploitation and manipulation of vulnerable individuals, which has led many to draw parallels between their cases. First off, the accusations against Diddy share some eerie similarities to those levied against Epstein. Both men are alleged to have used their wealth, power, and vast networks to exploit women and young people. Epstein's notorious parties on his private island involved high-profile guests, underage girls, and allegations of sexual trafficking on an international scale. Diddy, while not accused of the same kind of global trafficking, is said to have hosted similar freak-off parties, where drugs, manipulation, and sexual abuse were rampant. Some conspiracy theorists argue that Diddy's parties were smaller scale but reflected the same power dynamics and exploitation as Epstein's infamous gatherings. In both cases, we see a pattern of using social influence to draw in not only victims but other powerful individuals who either turned a blind eye or participated. For many conspiracy theorists, the parallels are too striking to ignore. Conspiracies run wild when high-profile figures like Diddy and Epstein are involved, largely because of the secrecy surrounding their personal lives and the hidden nature of their alleged crimes. In the case of Epstein, leaked flight logs and testimonies revealed a long list of famous guests, from politicians to actors. The question some are now asking is, was Diddy on that list? Could he have been involved in similar activities? As of now, no one has uncovered any verifiable proof of Diddy visiting Epstein's island, but in the court of public opinion, that hasn't stopped the rumors from spreading. Some argue that the legal trouble Diddy now finds himself in could be a result of trying to cover up connections to a much larger, more sinister network, a theory that draws disturbing parallels to how Epstein operated before his arrest.
Well, I have kept this secret for like 14 years. I mean, the first time I experienced it was 2010.
One of the most gripping conspiracy theories about both Diddy and Epstein is the idea that they ran blackmail networks. In Epstein's case, it's widely speculated that his lavish parties were a front for a larger operation designed to capture compromising material on the rich and powerful. Hidden cameras, secret recordings, and vulnerable guests. These were allegedly used to exert control over high-profile individuals. Similarly, some conspiracy theorists believe that Diddy's freak-off parties could have served the same purpose. The theory goes that these parties weren't just for Diddy's pleasure, but were elaborate traps set up to blackmail others. The events were allegedly recorded, with video evidence of powerful guests engaging in illegal or immoral acts. This supposed leverage could be used for business deals, political favors, or simply as insurance to keep people loyal. Of course, like many conspiracy theories, this one is rooted in speculation rather than concrete evidence. But given Epstein's well-known use of blackmail, many believe Diddy might have adopted a similar strategy, using his influence to manipulate not just victims, but fellow celebrities and business leaders. But this conspiracy goes deeper. Could Diddy's downfall be linked to powerful figures trying to cover up their own involvement? And are there more connections between Diddy and Epstein that have yet to surface? Follow along as we look into how Epstein's mysterious death may have set the stage for the danger Diddy now faces behind bars. Epstein's death and risks for Diddy in jail. Let's talk about one of the most controversial elements in the Diddy case, the risks he faces while in jail, and how it mirrors the situation of Jeffrey Epstein before his death. The parallels between their cases have fueled even more speculation and conspiracy theories. Jeffrey Epstein's death in 2019 at the Metropolitan Correctional Center, or MCC in Manhattan, sparked intense controversy. Officially, his death was ruled as self-inflicted, but from the start, many people suspected foul play.
Breaking news this hour, officials say multimillionaire Jeffrey Epstein has taken his own life.
Epstein, who was facing sex trafficking charges involving minors, had powerful connections across politics, entertainment, and finance. The idea that he could have been murdered to protect others involved in his criminal activities spread quickly. The fact that Epstein had previously been on watch but wasn't monitored properly at the time of his death only added to the public's distrust of the official story. Many believe he was silenced to protect high-profile individuals linked to his trafficking ring. Now, fast forward to 2024, and we see similar concerns rising with Diddy. After his arrest on charges of sex trafficking and racketeering, he was placed in the Metropolitan Detention Center, or MDC, in Brooklyn, a facility notorious for harsh conditions and previous incidents of inmates taking their own lives. As with Epstein, people are worried about Diddy's safety while he awaits trial. Could Diddy be at risk of being silenced the same way conspiracy theorists believe Epstein was? These questions have been floating around online, with some even using the term Epstein to describe the potential danger Diddy faces while in custody.
The biggest thing with all this is he going to get Epsteined.
There had to be some real celebrities that were there,
Well,
right?
he has
Involved?
tapes on people.
In response to these concerns, Diddy has been placed on watch, despite reports that he isn't showing any signs of self-harm tendencies. According to his legal team, the decision is routine for high-profile inmates facing serious charges, and it's meant as a precautionary measure. But many are skeptical, viewing it as eerily similar to what happened to Epstein. So, what is being done to ensure Diddy's safety? Since his arrest, Diddy has been under close watch at the MDC, a facility that has been criticized for its unsafe conditions. The jail has struggled with violence, poor staffing, and several instances of self-harm in recent years. To mitigate the risks, Diddy has been placed in a special housing unit, or SHU, which provides heightened security and isolation from the general inmate population. These units are designed to protect inmates at risk of harm, either from themselves or others. In addition to his placement in the SHU, Diddy is being monitored 24/7 by prison staff. This includes regular checks, constant video surveillance, and the use of a safety smock, a garment that cannot be used for self-harm. These measures are intended to prevent any incidents, especially given the high-profile nature of his case and the global attention it has drawn. However, while these precautions are in place, the Metropolitan Detention Center itself has been described as hell on earth by former inmates and critics alike. Reports detail overcrowding, frequent lockdowns, and a lack of basic services, raising concerns about whether the facility is truly equipped to prevent another tragic incident like Epstein's.
There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, and numerous stabbings and lockdowns in recent years.